Good evening. Buongiorno. It's 7:05 p.m. I've not done a regular weekly stream in ages. Good to see you, good boy Serb? Curb? How do you want me to pronounce that username? The good boy part I get. The C-E-R-B. I'm assuming it's Serb. But I could be wrong. Could be like Carb or something like that, depending on who you speak to. Anyway, good to see you. I have not done a weekly stream in a Cerberus. Okay, so Serb. I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it. Okay, cool. Good to meet you. Nice. Yeah, I've not done a weekly stream in a while. I took like most of the end of April and start of May off. Just chilling. Working on projects and such. But we've got about half of the month left to do ranked ladder climbing. And I wanted to try out my team that I've been cooking, which features Ho-Oh. Because I spent a whole lot of time going and getting shiny Ho-Oh for this team. Time to finally see if it has what it takes to, eke out any wins at all. I'm thinking I can probably get like 2 wins of maybe 5 matches today. I've been doing all right on Showdown Ladder, and I'll probably look at that in a little bit too. But to kind of set the scene, right now Pokemon is in a milestone format. Every couple of months they change the format of what's allowed in ranked. Up until now, until the start of May, we were in Regulation F, which is kind of like the end of an era. Regulation F allowed all of the Pokemon that were in like the DLC or that you could transfer up from previous generations, except, and this is crucial, except for guys that are called restricted Pokemon. And now, what is a restricted Pokemon, you're probably wondering, or maybe you already know. Depends on what my audience is like right now. But a restricted Pokemon is basically anybody who appears on the box of a Pokemon game. So like Kyogre is a restricted legendary, Ho-Oh is a restricted legendary, the bikes in this generation are restricted legendaries. And now with the beginning of Regulation G in May, all the way until the end of the season at the end of August, we are allowed 1 singular restricted Pokemon on our team. So it's like a whole new era, a brand new frontier of what teams have to bring to the table, because these restricted Pokemon are so game warping. You kind of have to like play Protect the President, Previously, it would be all 6 guys were more or less equally powerful, but now you have 1 ultra-powerful guy that the whole rest of your team is built around enabling, which I think is very cool. But it's also really difficult. So I wanted to start today by going over some of the meta teams currently. We've had a half a month of tournaments, which is a pretty good sample size. There's some clear winners for who the top restricted Pokemon are. So let's start with Indianapolis, when nobody knew anything about what the format was going to look like. This one happened on May 5th, I want to say. And we're looking at top 8 here. Our restricteds that we see are Miraidon, who's new from this generation, Terapagos, who's new from this generation, Calyrex Ice Rider, another Calyrex Ice Rider, they're from Generation 8, Terapagos, Kyogre, hanging in there. We've got Zamazenta, which is a fun one, and another Miraidon. So there's some clear winners out of all of the box legendaries that have ever existed across all the games and the DLC 3rd versions. In top 8 we have, 4 different guys, right? We've got 2 Ice Riders, 2 Terapagos, 2 Miraidons, and then 2 other guys. So not a lot of diversity, and if you scroll down the list you'll see Ice Rider, Ice Rider, Ice Rider, Groudon, Ice Rider, one of the bikes, Kyogre, Terapagos, etc, etc. So there are some clear winners, and it's not hard to see why. So the team that won from Rajan here, and was also piloted very similarly by Dr. Aaron Trailer over here, was able to take the field by storm. We can look at it briefly. I'll blow this up to make it really visible. I wish that PokePaste had the icons for all the guys that are currently in the game. But this team's entire premise was hyper offense, right? It was how guys that can go really fast and do more damage than you thought was possible. We have Miraidon, who has some of the most front-loaded stats that I've seen in a Pokemon in a long time. Really good Electric Dragon typing, has the ability to Terastallize into Electric to get another modifier boost for its electric damage, and it has one of the most, quirked up abilities I've ever seen in Hadron Engine. So if you've played Pokemon for a while, you'll know that, Kyogre or Groudon have a cool ability where they set weather when they come onto the field, right? Miraidon has a similar thing, where it sets a field condition called Electric Terrain. Now what that does is it prevents any Pokemon who's affected by it from being able to fall asleep, and also boosts the power of electric moves by 30%. So that's pretty good. But on top of that, when Miraidon is in electric terrain, it gets a boost to its special attack stat just straight up. So it enters the field, it sets up electric terrain, this boosts the power of electric moves, and then it gets a special attack boost on top of that. And then you're holding choice specs, which give you another 50% boost. And then you can Terastallize to give you another 50% boost. And then you click Electro Drift, which is 110 power or something like that? 130, something crazy like that. And has a bonus modifier on it that says, if this move is super effective, it does 30% more damage than usual. Just obscene levels of ability to do electric damage. Now, mercifully, electric is a type that you can absorb if you've got a ground type user, but then you have to contend with a Draco Meteor, which is a 130 base power, same type attack bonus move, which doesn't get boosted by electric terrain, but does get boosted by that Hadron Engine and the choice specs. So this thing could just do a tremendous amount of damage. It would sit next to guys like Ursaluna Bloodmoon, who is a partially ground type, so it could click the Discharge, do a ton of spread electric damage. And meanwhile, Ursaluna is no slouch either. It has a Life Orb to do 30% more damage, gets the same type attack bonus on its normal moves, tremendously high special attack stat, and Mind's Eye allows it to hit ghosts with normal moves. Crazy stuff all around. You've got this one I thought was probably the most innovative and fun part of the entire team. Farigiraf. So Miraidon's really, really fast. It's got it's speed tied for the second highest speed in the format. It has the same base speed as Qianpao and Fluttermane. So if they're all max speed, like positive nature and everything, they can all speed tie. So, you know, that's kind of rough or whatever. Farigiraf kind of is a way to prevent anything that's faster than, or anything that would be slower than that, from getting an upper hand by using a priority move. Farigiraf has the signature ability Armor Tail, which prevents any priority moves from landing on you or your ally. And so you can just park it there, prevents anybody from getting in a quick attack. Yeah, burb time. Hey, sorry, how's it going? I'm talking about, like, what the Reg G kind of landscape looks like right now. So I'm going over Rajan Ball's team, the first Reg G winner from the first regional of the format. I know you know all about this. Yeah, so, like, because Miraidon's really fast, you want to prevent anybody who just has, like, a priority move from getting an upper hand on you. So this blocks Fake Out, blocks Sucker Punch, Extreme Speed, Quick Attack type things. So you can be pretty sure that you are the fastest thing on the field, and nobody has a mechanism to get around that. On top of that, you've got this item, Electric Seed, which boosts your physical defense, I want to say. When you enter on electric terrain, you consume the seed, and you get, like, a stat boost. So Farigiraf, already known for being pretty tanky, can tank up even more just naturally thanks to the electric terrain that Miraidon sets. And you can Helping Hand, make it do 50% more damage on top of all those other modifiers. And then the really, really, really funny part is Terra Ground, which I've not seen anybody really seriously use up until this format, as like a Terra type, offensively or defensively. But what this lets you do is you can Terastallize into the ground type, Helping Hand, and your Miraidon with the electric terrain, choice specs, whatever, can click Discharge, hit both opponents, you absorb it because you're a ground type, it doesn't kill you anymore. And you can just keep doing that until the opponent has nothing left. And then you've got like Incin, because he's a good guy, and Whimsicott, who's just able to cause disruption, make you even faster, lock opponents into like Protect or things like that. The works. So this team was very, very strong. I think it pretty much immediately warped the perception of the meta going forward. Nobody was really prepared for a Pokemon to do this much damage, and so this thing was able to cruise all the way to the top. If you really want to learn more about it, Aaron Trailer, who helped build this team, Dr. Aaron Trailer, has a really good team report about their variation of the team. Theirs is exactly the same, but they swapped out Ogerpon for Ditto, and they came in 8th as opposed to 1st. But honestly, I really believe Aaron could have come in 1st. It's just the luck of the bracket, you know? The fact that they were both able to have an incredibly high placing result speaks volumes about how good the team was. The other popular archetype is Terapagos, who I'm kind of surprised I'm not running, given my proclivity towards turtles. I think eventually I will try out this team. Fortunately, this format lasts until the end of August, so I have a bunch of months left to try out other stuff and get, you know, my bearings and what have you, just in time for them to change it up again. But Terapagos is a funny little guy. He's a little turtle. He has the ability Terra Shell. Well, rather, he has Terra Shift, which turns him into the, like, shell mode that he normally inhabits during battle. That has the ability Terra Shell, which is anytime you are at full HP, the hit that breaks that full HP is not very effective. It's kind of like a multi-scale or like Shadow Shield on like Lunala or Dragonite, where if you're at full HP, the first hit does half damage. But the crucial difference here is that it's not very effective, which is strictly better. Because in theory, well, for Terapagos it doesn't really matter because he's a normal type, so he's only got one weakness and it's only a single weakness to fighting. But in theory, a Pokemon with this that has like a double weakness where they would be taking 4 times as much damage, Terra Shell would turn 4x into 0.5, which is a tremendous, tremendous damage swing. So that's cool. Also, crucially, unlike multi-scale, it works on multi-hit moves for every hit, which is kind of cool. So if Urshifu comes at you with Rapid Strikes or Surging Strikes and hits you 3 times, all 3 of those are not very effective instead of just the first one, even though the first one breaks your HP from full. So the archetype here is very much protect the President. Your job with this guy is to just continue to dish out damage, Usually they run like Calm Mind and just keep buffing themselves up while everybody else around either will Pollen Puff to get them back at full HP, or offer redirection. Chi-Yu is here. Hi, I had a random movie thought. You know the movie Anastasia? I am familiar briefly with it, but where are you going with this? I do not know how this is germane, but I'll hear you out on this. We're all very interested in No Flower Heart. Anyway, Chi-Yu is here. Chi-Yu's entire job is to provide Beads of Ruin and let Tropicos do 25% more damage. They have, like, our choice Scarfed and just do a little chip with their own stuff, but primarily Beads of Ruin is there to buff up the massive power that Tropicos can do. And then the final archetype that was really, really popular is Ice Rider, which is just like a variation of Trick Room. This thing is bulkier than God. It has crazy typing with Psychic Ice, but usually Terra to like Fire or something. Glacial Lance is a 120 base power ice move that hits both opponents. No drawbacks other than it being a spread move. This thing is really slow. You click Trick Room, you're almost guaranteed to get it up. It has close combat, has like high horsepower for like ice ground coverage. Crazy good stuff. Clear Amulet prevents its attack from being lowered by Incinerate or Intimidate or like Parting Shot. And the ability it has gives it a +1 attack boost every time it gets a knockout. So you get a double knockout with Glacial Lance, you're at +2 all of a sudden. Kind of crazy stuff. I had a funny realization that even though they made Villain a Lich and take the movie in Russia, even once referenced like a character that is the reason why Liches exist in mythology. Interesting. Not particularly germane, but I'm glad somebody's doing the good research about Lichdom. Let's see. And then the final archetype that's kind of taken us into today is this one right here. This unassuming team with everybody's underdog from last generation, Zamazenta. This dog was bad last gen. People did not play with Zamazenta. It's the counterpart to Zacian, who is the sword dog. But Zamazenta's ability was you get +1 defense when you switch in, as opposed to +1 offense. And so you couldn't really do much with that. You had like a good steal move. You could use like close combat. But other than that, you were just strictly less effective than your Fairy Steel type counterpart. But everything changed in Generation 9. Even though, weirdly, they nerfed both Dauntless Shield and whatever the sword move is. I guess it's probably Dauntless Sword. Which now, instead of every time you switch in getting a +1, it's only the first time ever. Strictly a nerf, right? But, unlike Zacian, who has to hold the Rusted Sword item, which makes it vulnerable to Intimidate, and pretty much guaranteed to lose that +1 attack bonus right away to an Incineroar or something like that, Zamazenta does not have to worry about Intimidate. You can lower this guy's attack into the dirt, it doesn't matter anymore, because they finally gave him a move that can leverage his strengths. Body Press is a 90 base power fighting move that draws its damage calculation from your defense stat instead of your offense stat. Which means if you have tremendously high defense, you are doing tremendous damage with Body Press. And it is fighting type, just like Zamazenta. So you get same type attack bonus on that. You pretty much just bulk up here, Body Press, and very few things have a way to deal with this. This guy is all over the place now. If we look into the next regional, Stockholm, I'm pretty sure he's now winning it, yeah. Hey Denshi, how's it going? Paid money for this. Whose emote is that? You have to tell me about whose carrot this is. I'm interested. Goki Dev, what are they all about? Good to see you, Denshi. I'm talking about Pokemon, as you can see. We're in a bold new format where you're allowed to have a box legendary, and it's like the Wild West out here. Nobody knows what the hell they're doing. But yeah, so now here's the second tournament of the format. Now, suddenly this weird little underdog, this team we were just looking at, not this one, right here with the Moltres, the Rillaboom, Pelipper, it went ahead and won. Where are we? Yeah, Michael Kelch won this one. All about Goki's end development, that's awesome. Yeah, so Michael Kelch was second place at Worlds last year. Very talented player. Was able to knock it out of the park with the Zamazenta. And now people think this is like the guy to beat Zamazenta. But as you can see, like top 8 is still Zamazenta, Terapagos, Calyrex, Ice Rider, Miraidon, Terapagos, Zamazenta, Calyrex, Ice Rider. And it's a long, long way. You have a question? Yes. I'm listening. I'm here. I'm a professor. Denchi, what is your question? What can I rent with the rental code? You can rent. Alright, fine. You forced my hand here. One second. You can rent my team. But first, let me make sure I update my settings here, because I have custom music playing. And I would like to continue to listen to my custom music, background music. There we go. Keen observers might notice that there is background music playing. That is actually, I recently just got that off of commission. I wanted a battle theme, and this is fresh off the presses just for me. It is not from any extant Pokemon game. But to answer your question, Denchi, you can rent this rental team. As soon as I get to log online. Thank you. The guy who made this name is Matt Martin. You can find him at Matt Matat on Twitter. Oh, right, I borrowed on this account. Did I not take it? Hold on, I have to take my own team now. 7 N C P Q V. And you might notice that my game is in English finally. This is the secondary account that I have that I was trying to grind through in English this time. Figured it'd be better for going over stuff like this. This is the team that you can rent with that rental code. This is the Ho-Oh team that I put together. And I'll talk about this as well. Ho-Oh, Seri, I feel like is just an excellent counter to Zamazenta as well. The ability to resist both fighting and steel with your fire flying type means that he does very little damage to you, even with his tremendous defense stat. You can hit him with Sacred Fire to get a burn, and from there they're pretty much just ineffective. They can't really do much. They can continue to get a lot of defense, but they will get whittled down eventually, which is nice. But yeah, this team that I've built is kind of like anti-meta. I have a really good matchup into both the Calyrex riders. I have a good matchup in the Zamazenta. I've actually not thought of Terrapagus yet, so I probably don't have a good matchup into that. The matchup into Miraidon is like a 50-50 if I play good. And my worst matchup is Kyogre, which is unfortunate because Kyogre is somewhat meta. But other than that, I've got like a pretty good pairing into everything else, which makes me feel somewhat confident, and then I can just blame myself on being a bad player if I lose. Ho-Oh is really interesting in that, let's look back at the browser here. Ho-Oh, this guy right here. Ho-Oh has a sick, nasty base special defense stat of 154, which is like close to the highest in the game, I think. If we take a look at like new box here, add a Pokemon. Let's sort by special defense. The only thing higher than it in the entire game is Regice at 200, but Regice is like kind of only a wall and doesn't offer a whole lot else going on. Very good, but also the typing is very bad. So Ho-Oh can take out a lot of special punishment, which is good because as we kind of just established, two huge threats in the format are Miraidon, which is tremendous special damage, and Terrapagos, which is tremendous special damage. Let's look back at this guy. On top of that, this is the best generation it's ever been for Ho-Oh because of the addition of the Clear Amulet item, which prevents you from ever having your stats lowered as long as you hold it. This means that as a physical attacker, you no longer care about Intimidate, which is everywhere. Everybody's got an Intimidate guy. And, like, you're very strong. The general premise here with Ho-Oh is that you will be able to do more damage than your opponent over time, and you can endure more hits than them, because your stats are just kind of crazy. On top of that, their hidden ability is Regenerator. This Pokemon restores a third of its maximum HP, rounded down every time it switches out. So, sitting on a stat of 204, I think it gets something like 68 HP back. I did a calc. This number is divisible by 3. I'm pretty sure. And so it gets a nice number of HP back every time it comes in and out. On top of that, it has Recover, which is just a flat 50% heal right then and there. And then you've got very strong Brave Bird and Sacred Fire at 120 and 100 base power, respectively. So you're just chunking people, and that's your whole goal, basically. The team is supported by a Sableye to put up screens, making you take even less damage and getting your mileage out of your restored HP even further. I've been very indecisive about what I want this last move on Sableye to be. Leer is kind of funny. It targets both opponents and just lowers their defense by 1. It's typically one of those awful moves that your first Pokemon learns at like level 7 when you're leveling up. It's like, it learned Tail Whip and Growl and Leer. But Leer and Howl are actually kind of good in competitive. Howl specifically, they buffed because now it boosts the attack of your ally as well as just you. Skeletom, did you know? Denshi, I'm listening. I probably didn't know. Leer means empty in German. Interesting. I didn't know that. That it was... in English, it means you're making, like, a funny look. Like, you're giving them, like, the eye. Like, you're leering at them. Which is why it lowers their defense. It makes them feel uneasy. But yeah, hits both opponents, lowers their defense. Basically, Sableye's goal is you start with Sableye. Because you're a Ghost type, you're immune to Fake Out. And because you're a Dark type, you're immune to Prankster Taunt. So you're basically guaranteed to get a screen up of your choice. And that, like, significantly reduces the damage you take for 8 turns. With Light Clay, your screens last 8 turns. So you are, like, guaranteed to get one of these moves off. You get a free choice of move for your either Leer, Light Screen, or Reflect. And then you're pretty much good from there on out. After that, you basically click Leer and Foul Play to soften up targets for the rest of your team. You can just kind of keep lowering defense as long as they let you stay on the field, and that'll let the rest of your team chunk guys down a lot faster. I've been very indecisive about what would be the ideal move here. You can run like Will-O-Wisp to get like a priority burn. You can run Thunder Wave for speed control. I was thinking like maybe even Sunny Day would be good to help my Kyogre matchup. I have no idea. And then Foul Play is just a funny move. Extremely high base power dark move that uses the target's attack stat when doing damage calculations. So even though Sableye has no attack really to speak of, like a very poor stat, this is 95 base power coming off of same type attack bonus into some of these restricted Pokemon who have like... Ho-Oh is actually weak by restricted standards. Like 130 is not as high as it gets with restricted attacks. The Calyrex Ice Rider has 150 attack and is weak to Dark, might I add. So it's very possible with same type attack bonus Foul Play that you can just like one-shot a Calyrex if they let you, if they don't Terastallize. So it's pretty good. It's a very annoying move to just deal out consistent damage on the field. And then finally, you know, they'll knock you out and you can get somebody better in. Or you can pivot out, because this whole team is based around pivoting. Not only does Ho-Oh have Regenerator to get back a third of its HP, but it tag teams out with Amoonguss, one of the best support Pokemon they've ever invented. Amoonguss also has this ability to get a third of its HP back when it switches out, and critically, as a Grass Poison type, its weaknesses are basically opposite to that of Ho-Oh, a Fire Flying type. Ho-Oh, weak to Water type. Amoonguss resists Water. Amoonguss, like, weak to, say, like, Fire. Ho-Oh resists Fire, so you can just keep switching these two in and out, and getting HP back as you do it. Yeah, Amoonguss reference. This guy came out in Generation 5, so a little bit before that game took off, but not too long. It's unclear who came first. Amoonguss rocking the Rocky Helmet, which does a 6th chip damage for any physical attack that makes contact with it. They've got Redirection, they can put people to sleep, they can heal or do damage with Pollen Puff. Super, super good guy. And, like, you can just alternate out with Ho-Oh. I've had a lot of games where my opponent will have the Water-type Urshifu, and they're like, haha, I am going to attack your bird with Rapid Strikes, which will knock you out. And I say, no you don't, I am switching my bird out for Amoonguss. Amoonguss easily eats that as a Grass type, and they will take 1/6 of their HP per Rapid Strike that hits, and deal half of their life for striking this poor mushroom. Very good stuff. To help further with other matchups, I've got Tinglu, who has Vessel of Ruin, which reduces special attack by 25% approximately, which is fine for me because my team is all physical attackers. Into Miraidon, this basically shuts them down. Between this and Rillaboom, you can make Miraidon wish that they had not come out onto the field or play very scared, which is quite nice. I think the one on the cartridge I have actually swapped out Throat Chop for Ruination, which is the signature move that does half of the target's current HP. So super, super good on the first hit, less good on subsequent hits, but you can really chunk people with this. I'm not sure if that is better than what I had, but I've been advised to try it. Lastly, we've got Incineroar and Rillaboom, who are just bread and butter guys who love to switch out, which really benefits with the Ho-Oh strategy here. You send out Ho-Oh, he takes a bit of damage, you swap out to proc Regenerator, you're sending Incineroar in, now you've got Fake Out Pressure and you've thrown Intimidate out. Cool Incineroar needs to come back out with a parting shot. They lower attacks on the way. Ho-Oh comes back in with their HP regenerated. You can start dishing out more damage. They need to come back out. Now you can send Rillaboom in. Rillaboom has fake out pressure. They've set up grassy terrain to get rid of, like, electric terrain. It's good. Hello! Hi! How's it going, bot? What were you playing? You are being raided. I can see that. I can see that with my eyeballs. What were you playing? Let's see. I'm gonna guess it's either, like, Apex or Fallout, which are the two things I remember seeing you play recently. Shout out. VLTV, or VTLV. Bot. It doesn't say what you were playing, though. I forgot that that's how the shoutout command works. Yeah, I'm going over a Pokemon team that I built by myself. I don't know if it's very good, but it is maybe funny. I've got Ho-Oh, which is cool. He's not very meta, but I will try and run him as an anti-meta. Sekiro, okay, I wouldn't have guessed. Anyway, all this to say, hold on, I've got something really funny to show before I actually jump to the ladder. 1 second. I finally am like, okay, I'll have some time to grind ladder out and show off this crazy team that I've been working on since the very beginning of the format. Like, I've thought about this basically in a vacuum. I've talked to Sari a bunch about, like, do you think this is good? X, Y, and Z, and I came up with all of these individual guys individually on my own, thinking this was a good meta call. And then 2 days ago, James Bake, extremely popular and good YouTuber and, like, renowned regional finalist, publishes this video where he's like, hey, check out this bulky Ho-Oh core that's difficult to break through. It's got Ho-Oh, seen that guy before. It's got Rillaboom, seen that guy before. Ting Lu, seen that guy before. Amoonguss, seen that guy before. And I'm like, wow, maybe I'm a genius. Maybe I'm onto something. And then he goes into detail about how this team is really cool and everything, but very similar. And I felt very smart for coming up with a team that he deems is good on its own, that, you know, some other guy completely came up with independently. It's like multiple people inventing the light bulb or what have you independently of each other. Anyway, without much more ado, I guess I'll hop into the game. Actually play some Pokemon instead of just talking about Pokemon. Where is it? What the browser? So if you're interested in trying the team out on ladder on your own, you can use the rental code above. It'll give you the team as it is presented here, and kind of as we've gone over. That said, I'm now going to switch back out to my... would you like to borrow this team? Yes. I'm actually going to switch back over to my Italian save file, despite how much easier it would be for this to be read in English, just because that's where I want the rewards if I get anywhere on the ranked ladder. So we save. Don't worry, I can narrate these battles like no problem. I can tell you exactly what's happening in each turn. Back to Italian. So I think I'm probably going to get completely rinsed, even in the low ladder here. I've got some good replay. If, like, I get hosed real bad, I've got some replays from Showdown that demonstrate that the team is capable of having some really good hits. And I can narrate those as well and explain kind of my thought process for playing there. But we will see. Maybe I'll do really good. Oh yeah, and I got to turn the music off for this one as well. You're going to get some minor ear interference in a moment. Anyway, but if you're still around, what's going on in Sekiro these days? I know very little about that game, other than there's like a funny monkey boss. Probably a couple funny monkey bosses if I had to guess. But that's really like all I know. I think there's at least two. There's one that's like a great... I guess I also don't want to talk about it too much with spoilers, because like, well, I know might not be what you've seen so far. But I know there's at least two. You think you got all of them, okay. Competitive battle. Let's get rinsed! Cool, I'll take it. Does it send me back to Pokeball? It should. Yes, good. Okay, we gotta climb. Big Bird. There's like the illusory monkey boss where he's like a bunch of, I think, screens? Alright, Julian, what do you got for me? What's your guy? Julian is running a very bog-standard Calyrex Shadow team. I am so unafraid of Calyrex Shadow. It is a Ghost Psychic type, and its job is to just do large special damage. I, honest to God, could not care less about that thing. I don't see any way that this team does, like, anything respectable to me at all. I'm going to eat those words, I'm sure, very soon. But for now, I can do this. Let's see. I see the Urshifu and I'm like, I should bring a Mungus, but I'll bring Rillaboom. Just because he does more damage, which is good. So, much like Calyrex Ice, where they get +1 attack every time they get a knockout, similarly, Calyrex Shadow gets special attack, and they're crazy fast. But I just simply don't care is the thing. I'm going to click Light Screen, and they're just going to do no damage to Ho-Oh. It's, like, not going to be a contest. Also, they have to Terra, or I can basically one-shot them with Foul Play. Okay. Gotta get going. Good luck in battle. Thank you. So we're gonna do Light Screen on Sableye, and Ho-Oh will simply protect. So weirdly, turning off the background music turned off the sound for when you click between moves. Light Screen goes up. Alright, we get Astral Barrage, which is probably going to knock Sableye, even though it's neutral. Well, maybe not through Light Screen. Oh, okay, never mind. We can eat another one of those. That's awesome. So we're going to do a Foul Play into you. We're going to Terrastalize here into Poison. I see no reason not to. And we're just going to click Sacred Fire, I think. Your Ho-Oh is shiny. That's so cool. Thank you, PK Tom, for helping me get this. What the frick? Well, that's Pokeball for you. He's going to resist Foul Play. I should have clicked Brave Bird. That would have been crazy. Yeah, I don't want to get hit by a Thunderclap or whatever, so I'm going to Terra Poison here. Which is probably not a good move, because they've got a Psychic attack, I'm sure. But I think we get the knock here unless they protect. Yeah, like, I don't care. That does nothing to me. Sableye eats the hit. Does half. Alright, so now I think I want to do Leer, because it would be funny. And Ho-Oh's coming out, and I'm thinking Ting-Lu's coming in? Or Rillaboom is coming in. Rillaboom is coming in, I think. Because then I can get the, yeah, Rillaboom's coming in. So Ho-Oh's gonna heal up. Yeah, the 3-hit KO Sableye is kind of crazy, actually. I'll have to write that in my team report. So we're clicking Leer here. So we're softening these guys up. That's fine. Okay. Not amazing damage. I can click Leer again, crazily enough. And I think I'm going to do that. Leer, again, lower everybody's stats. And now I think I go for... I think the safest play is actually high horsepower into the Calyrex slot. Though I could just go for a Grassy Glide, but if they switch into Incin, which is what I think they're going to do, then that's a bad play. So I'm going to click high horsepower. Never mind, they don't switch. I thought they were going to switch into Incin or to lower my attack and make a potential Grassy Glide do not a lot of damage. Okay, they're going to get the knock on Sableye, which is not great, but I don't see any way I don't KO them in return. This should be minimal damage as well. And now you've lowered your own stats. Cool. We get a little bit of healing. I think Ho-Oh probably comes back in. I think I likely pivot Rillaboom back out now into... No, that's actually not a... Well, it depends on what they send in. If it's Incin, I might pivot out into Ting-Lu. If he's not Incin... Okay, it is Incin. So Incin can get the knock on Rillaboom, no problem. But my almost full HP Ho-Oh is looking pretty here. I don't get intimidated, which is nice. I think I go for... let's see. Brave Bird probably into Incin, and then Rillaboom comes back out to preserve fake out pressure. I could actually very easily still lose this, but I did get there restricted, which is nice. Yeah, as expected, kind of the fake out, but I had to keep him honest. That did, I think, 3 damage to me. I'm grounded, so I heal. Brave Bird, and this thing. I think, okay, super effective, very cool. Does well over half. I lose my Clear Amulet, which kind of hurts, but it's not that big a deal. I actually... Okay, I should have gone for the Incin here, I think. Because I was not threatened by Raging Bolt at all, so I should have left them on the field for as long as possible. I also believe I win all damage trades now. Ooh, Urshifu, okay. What kind is it? It's a Dark Urshifu, okay. That's bad for... That's kind of bad. This might be a tremendous throw. I'm gonna take Ho-Oh out to heal them, and I'm gonna put Rillaboom back in, I think. Because that gives me fake out pressure. I think Ting-Lu can eat a close combat just fine, though. Why are they running Body Press Bolt? I could not tell you. This might still be a throw, I don't know. I'm expecting a Wicked Blow into the Urshifu, or the Ho-Oh slot, or a close combat into the Ting-Lu slot. But I should be able to eat the close combat. Yeah, there we go. Now, if he doubles into me, them's the bricks, but... Okay, cool, we're fine. I believe we've won. Like, no matter what. Yeah, there you go. My Reflect is gonna finally wear off now. I get tiny little healing. Ting-Lu heals a tremendous amount, actually, through both leftovers and grassy terrain. Sitting at almost 100 HP. We lose grassy terrain, that's fine. I have fake out pressure. And we can just, like, go crazy. I don't know if stomping is going to do more or less than... Oh, stomping, he close combated, so this should do more. Yeah. Does not detect, and that's game. Oh, wow, that doesn't actually knock out. That's crazy. Well, I have 3 guys is the thing, and he can't, I don't think, one-shot all of them. But if you want to see me make a big throw, I'm going to take Rillaboom out again and put Ho-Oh back in. Because I can reset Grassy Terrain and get a Grassy Glide, which will, like, guaranteed get the knock. Oh, okay, yeah, he just also is, like, incapable of doing real damage. At all. This is crazy. Don't even need it. Awesome. Yeah, so that's how this team is meant to work. Granted, we're in Pokeball tier, so, like, that was kind of a freebie. As Charlotte's wondering, like, are they running Body Press Bolt? Question mark. I don't know. I can tell you they were doing no damage with their special attack either, though. So I don't know that any other move in that slot would have helped them. I got hit by a Thunderclap that did, I think, 5 damage into my Ho-Oh. So, like, it doesn't really matter. I respect them for, like, trying something a little unconventional that might catch people by surprise on ladder. I certainly would be prone to do that. But this team is just incredibly, incredibly bulky. Alright, cool. I got 1 win. I'm not a fraud. No matter what happens next. I've got the win on camera. I have no idea. I just wanted to play and show people my Ho-Oh. I have no idea what the rewards are, but I figured I might as well get them on my Italian account. I truly have no idea. More than I just wanted to get people out. Like, I needed a video of me playing as Ho-Oh, so that when the next James Bake Cybertron video about, like, how good the Ho-Oh Ting-Lu core is and how anti-meta it is, I can be like, that was me. I figured that out. People know. It's important. Everybody needs to know that I'm a genius. Unless I lose and then I'm a fraud. Also, we worked so hard to get this Ho-Oh. I have to get it on film. Hikaru. What do you got? Ooh, so this is a Sun spam team. That's kind of tricky, actually. They're going to try and put me to sleep with Spore, and I can't really stop them. This is a very poor matchup for me as well. They've got just a lot of Sun. They've got, like, fighting damage, which is not great for my Indocin. I'm sure it's Clear Amulet on Miraidon. And they're just going to do, like, a lot of fire damage. This is a matchup that I don't have high confidence in. This is one of my worst matchups, but fortunately, Koraidon is not very popular. Yeah, the potential for, like, a fast Spore on Brute Bond is tripping me up. Otherwise, this would be not too bad. I have Terra Water on my Incin, so that's good, because he's got the goggles, which will prevent him from being spored. But, and it'll make him be able to resist, like, the fighting moves. Or not resist, but not take super effective fighting damage. But I don't know. I think I might get washed here. Okay. I think I do what I did last game, where I just, like, immediately Terra. Into, like, a Brave Bird. It's not very effective either way. But setting up Sun would be, like, good for me here. And then light screen? It's gonna need to be both screens, but I think I can get both of them up, no problem. I'm actually not... Chi-Yu is not the one I'm afraid of on this team. It is the Brute Bonnet, more than anything, that I think I just don't have a good answer for. Because it's like Amoonguss, but like, more than one trick. So here I'm terroring because I'm afraid of Thunderclap, but I probably shouldn't be. Oh, they're terroring. Okay, well then I'm glad I terrored. And I'm assuming they're gonna click Sunny Day on Torn, which means that my Sacred Fire is gonna do a lot of damage, is the plan. But now also their Raging Bolt no longer resists fire, which is good for me. Oh, they're gonna click Tailwind, okay. Interesting. Light screen goes up, we take half damage from special moves, and it's not super effective anymore. I would imagine whoever he's targeting can eat this just fine. That's actually way more than I would have thought, but... Alright, we get a big Sacred Fire and it's gonna burn. There you go. So I can definitely eat another one of those. I'm gonna click into that slot, and I'm gonna get the Reflect up in preparation for presumably Calyrex in the back. I don't think Sableye is gonna be able to stick around too long. After this turn, I'm gonna switch Ho-Oh out for Rillaboom, probably. Or Incin to just be able to get Regenerator to proc and have Fake Out Pressure, going into whatever comes after Torn. Okay, we like that. It's gonna hurt, but we didn't take half from the last one, so I don't think we will face any threat here. Our Sacred Fire is gonna do crazy damage. Ooh, that does hurt. And it's got... Okay, so it's, Oh, okay. 5% chance to miss. I think we lose the game now, actually. I really needed my giant meaty Sacred Fire to hit, but that was a 5% miscall here. It's fine. We'll get our Regenerator. And now we can click... this. Do some respectable damage. Ting-Lu is not afraid of another Thunderbolt. It will be able to absorb that no problem. So we should be totally fine. Though my restricted is much more hurt than I would have liked. Is this Calyrex? This is probably Calyrex, right? Yeah. Now, Calyrex can just blow up Ting-Lu. So that's bad. Yeah, we absorb that just fine. It doesn't do a whole lot. Yeah, this guy might have me here. I really needed that Sacred Fire to hit in the sun. I think I would have gotten the knockout on Raging Bolt with the sun boost and everything. And it not resisting anymore. But instead we have to contend with both of these clowns. Yeah, so Calyrex is a fighting dragon. Which makes this not great. It's going to use, yeah, Collision Course. This is going to Sableye, who should survive because of the screens. Only barely, I would imagine. Yeah. We're going to see how much damage Foul Play does to Calyrex, who has a tremendously high attack stat. Even though it resists it. Okay, not a lot. No longer has Tailwind on their side, but I really can't afford to have Ting-Lu into this matchup. I should have brought literally anybody else. I think I just lose here, actually. Like, yeah, because this fighting weak. I don't know why I brought 2 darks into the fighting type restricted. 3 darks, rather, but I mean, he's ghost type, so he can't be touched. I guess we're gonna find out if this guy's Clear Amulet, but I don't know why he wouldn't be. gonna click the move again. He's gonna get a one-shot onto... Oh, yeah. He's got the clear amulet, yeah. Oh, okay. Doesn't click the fighting move. We take that. Wait, hold on. This guy has to switch now, right? Hold on. Because now I have fake out pressure. So I can fake out into him, and then Brave Bird. Which might be too aggressive. Maybe I needed to recover this turn instead. But I think it's my only out. If he's got Protect, I'm kind of cooked. Which he very easily could. Or he can just hard switch. Okay, but that's fine. We're going to do big damage to whoever comes in. Okay, we'll take that, I guess. But now with the recoil from Brave Bird and the Lightning Bolt, I might just lose my Ho-Oh. Oh, they protect! Okay, my Fake Out doesn't go anywhere. But that's okay, I think? Focus Sash, okay. We lose the Sun, which is... He's just going to set it up again next turn. Ho-Oh comes back out again into Ting Lu, reducing special damage and getting some more healing. And if we're lucky, we can survive whatever Fluttermane and this thing throw at us with the reduced special damage. And we're going for a knockoff, which will hopefully let us potentially intimidate Calyrex if he comes back in. So Ho heals up for a third again. Ting Lu comes in immune to Thunderbolt. Weak to Fluttermane stuff, but we'll see what happens. Eats that like a champ. Don't really care about that. Should also eat that like a champ. Not as much like a champ as I would have kind of hoped, but... But now they're down to their final two, right? Or did Tornadus switch out Manulid before? I'll check in a second. Okay, yeah, they manually swapped out Tornadus. Okay. That's rough. I think I just kind of have to sack my guys here. I don't... Like, if a switch is just suicide, I think. Because he could target into either of these slots and do big damage, I think. This is rough. We'll see. Okay, well, I didn't target that one at all, which is good. But he is going to get one of my other guys for free. Okay, that's actually preferable. If he had to take one of them, so be it. But not enough, unfortunately. So he can't hit me with his fighting move. He does have a fire move, which is probably pretty strong. I think my only out here is to just click my attacking moves, right? Like, if I double protect, that just buys him more time. Like, it doesn't help me any. He's going to set up Tailwind again. And he's going to probably get Ting-Lu here. Unless, Flare Blitz knocks out Ho-Oh, which it might. We still have Reflect up. He's going to get Ting-Lu. But I'm going to get him in return. Now, for sure. But it is just down to Ho-Oh. And he misses. We love that. Okay. Now, Tornadus is going to burn down. How tanky is my specially defensive bird, is the question. I think I go for recover here. I legit think that's the play. I don't think he can knock me out. I might be completely wrong. But I have no better... Okay, he definitely can't knock me out if he's not doubling into me. I'm sure of this. Never mind. Well, we tried our best. I guess I was really dependent on that light screen. Oh well. Came close. That's the nature of these bulky pivoting heavy teams. Yeah, Calyreon's a rough matchup. It just is able to do a lot of, like, fighting damage, which my team is not great at dealing with. I have no fighting resist beyond Sableye, or I guess Ho-Oh, but I was worried about the electric damage, so I popped Terra easy. Or early. That's rough. Oh well, that's fine. Back to Pokeball tier. Dr. Ricky, how you doing, by the way? Nice to see you. Always a friendly face in the chat. I'm playing with the Big Bird. I got 1 win under my belt already. You're doing well. That's awesome. Dr. Mrs. Ricky Hirsch. Crazy. Time's really just flying by, huh? Dr. Mrs. PhD, exactly. How is there no one else out there to play against? That's crazy. Okay. The Chaz. Oh my god. So this guy is Eternatus, who is like the 3rd legendary from last generation. They are a poison dragon type, and their whole gimmick is they want to stall you out as much as possible. They're going to build up a ton of crazy stats, and they're going to click poison, and that's how it's going to go. So I want... What do I want? I think I want this. I have not personally played an Eternatus yet, though, so they might just win. I like their trainer card, the Chaz. Alright. Works for me. So Tinglu and Chi-Yu basically balance each other out here. I believe I just click Brave Bird into you. And, like, Stomping Tantrum into Chi-Yu. And we're fine. I don't think they can do much damage to me. I might eat those words in a second. As it, like, Terra fighting Terra blasts me or whatever. But, like, I resist fire. I resist dark. Yeah, okay. Who's coming in is the question. Oh, sweet summer child. Oh. Never mind, I lose. I didn't know it had that move. Ho-Oh's gonna get one shot here. It's about to fire a Meteor Beam, which is a rock type special attack. Oh, I missed! Oh! Never mind, that's why rock types are the worst. I had this backwards also. I wish I had gone the other way. Never mind, they might still win. We're so back. So Meteor Beam has a 90% accurate dealie. So I probably want to... Well, I can't charge it up again. So I'm probably good there. I think I keep doing that. It has to charge if it wants to land that move. So I think I click this again. We're so back. It already used its item that gives it a free charge. It's gonna Terra now because it's scared. I deserve to have lost right then and there. That's really unfortunate. I'm probably gonna get Ivy Cudgel now because I didn't Terra. I'm, like, playing bad. It's gonna get a knock on one of these guys. I don't know what I'm thinking. I popped off so hard from the Meteor Beam missing that I'm gonna throw away a perfectly good potential victory here. Yeah, this is probably gonna knock Ho-Oh, right? I don't know why I didn't Terra there. I'm, like, dumb or something. It's actually fine, though. Like, we're still so back. Because I can do this. So now you are going to fake out into Eternatus. We've already burned Terra on their side, so now I can burn Terra on my side. Gonna use Ruination into Ogerpon. That's fine. I don't think Ruination's a contact move, so that's also probably fine. Now, do we think... No, Grassy Glide's double resisted, so that definitely doesn't get the knock. I think I would just go for Glide into Ogerpon, most likely, and then just continue to try and Stomping here. I'm probably going to eat a poison move on Rillaboom, but I've got Assault Vest, so I'm hoping that I'm okay. But he does have the attack boost. Okay, we survived that. That's cool. Into who? Into Ting? Okay. But they've got the Chi-Yu in the back, and I, like, burned my Terra on not making one of my grass guys resist fire. I still lost this. I'm such a bad gamer. Ugh. Because he's just gonna spike his shield next turn. And I have, like, no way to deal with that. Because my other guy is, what, Amoonguss? Great. I don't think you eat this particularly well either, though I can at least maybe preserve fake out pressure. Yeah, that much makes sense. She was going to go for a heat wave, I would assume. Oh my god, no way. Wow. I'm incredibly lucky. This game wants me to win, and I'm going to lose it anyway. Ursh, okay. What kind of Ursh is that? Dark type Ursh, okay. I think I still get cooked here, like, no matter what. I am assuming this vanquishes me. No, but might as well have. Okay, that's fair. I played very bad. It's fine. Did not use Terra, threw away my restricted nice and early. Didn't bring the right guys. So, like, I have fake out pressure here, but it doesn't really matter, I don't think. I can do, like, that and protect, I guess? Just to get more healing? And then maybe go for the Grassy Glide? Okay. Are they also gonna Spiky Shield? Yeah, okay, wait, hold on. Tinglu's gonna do a big healing. Now, it would have been really good if I went for a Stomping Tantrum here, because it would have doubled in power due to failing this turn. It would have been really good the next. Is Grassy Terrain gonna end this turn? Do I lose? Yeah, okay, never mind, I still lose. I needed a Grassy Glide into Ogrepon. I think that was my only out here. Ah, well. So he's not Choice Banded. I guess he's Focus Sash. Fair. Earned. Well played, the Chaz. But hey, at least the first one went really well, right? That's fine. It's a learning process. There I, like, very obviously made tremendous play mistakes where I left my rock weak thing vulnerable, targeted basically backwards from what I needed to turn one. And overall just... I don't know what I was thinking. Kyogre, this is a very poor matchup for me as well. This is like a crazy poor matchup, actually. And they've just got, like, walls. This is like a stall team. So that's not too much fun. I need to, like, actually do damage at some point. If I can clear out the Kyogre, Ho-Oh will be able to do really, really well. But if I can't clear out the Kyogre, then the Ho-Oh is completely dead weight. So we'll see what happens, I guess. I think I have to Terra Tinglu like turn 1 pretty much. Or Protect, I guess. Ideally, I would like to be able to land Ruination into Kyogre and just, like, make its water spouts ineffective for the rest of the game. Alpha. Interesting. Is there, like, any reason to not do this? It might be, and I'm going to lose to them all the same, which is going to be really funny. They're going to, like, click Toxic into my Tinglu or whatever. And I could have just Terra Poisoned. Oh. Okay. Never mind. You're right, this is just someone's singles team. Am I gonna get Encored? Modest damage, actually. Okay. Wow, okay. Please send in Kyogre, it would be very funny. Okay, that's cool. Terra Poison. Into you. Go for the Spore. They're gonna Terra Water, I assume. A switch here might have been prudent into, like, Rillaboom. Probably would have been smart. Or like a Protect, maybe. But if I protect in front of Whimsicott, I think I just get, I get locked into it. So let's see what this does. We hang in there. That's awesome. Now the Moonblast. We hang in there. That's awesome. Ruination. Awesome. Water Spout doing significantly less damage next turn. And we get the Spore. Perfect. Fine. Not burning their mandatory turn of sleep. Salt Giant! That's a... Or, Salta Giant. That's a great name. We hang in there. It's fine. This does super effective damage, which is actually not very much. We heal for 50%, which is quite nice. I would assume I just keep clicking these two moves. I see no reason to not. They wanted to stall me? Well, brother, I can do the same thing. They're going to try and do Assault Cure into one of my guys. If it's Amoonguss, that's very funny because they'll take chip damage of their own. If it's Ting, I'm not that worried. I can switch into, like, Rillaboom or something and be fine. They still have been a Sleep Kyogre at half HP in the back and has not burned any turns of sleep, so we've got some room to play around with. I love how the Terra Hat comes out of Tinglu's bowl. Okay. They're getting really lucky with the special attack drops. Not that it matters. Alright, who's getting rock salt cured? Oh! Oh, they're in for a Rude Awakening next turn. Okay, check this out. My Tinglu is back at full HP. I have a Whirlwind, which will force them out. Amoonguss is coming out in favor of Rillaboom. So Amoonguss is going to heal. Rillaboom is coming in with, like, Grassy Glide Fake Out Pressure. We're getting rid of the Salt Giant, which means Kyogre has to come back in. Encore fails because I switch. Oh, it has Recover. Okay. I don't really care. Get out of here, brother. So Kyogre is coming back in. I guess this will burn one of its turns of sleep, because this is like the... Its turn. No, it hasn't acted yet. It's not at the end of the turn, it's when they act. So no, Kyogre still has not burned any turns of sleep. I think we just double into that thing. There's no way it wakes up this turn. It's impossible. Anytime people think they can set up in front of me, I'm just like, no, brother, you can't. So we just click our strongest possible grass move. Rillaboom will eat this for breakfast. Goodbye, Kyogre. And Stomping is going to do, like, no damage, but... it does enough. And that just leaves Salty Giant here. Is he a bad enough dude to, like, hang out there? The rain has ended. We have grassy terrain. My Tinglu is at full HP. From having 4 HP earlier in the match, it is now healed all the way back up. And I believe we can just continue to click these moves. you go. Nice. Well, the team didn't really make a lot of sense. It's not particularly meta, so I don't really feel as though this is any kind of proving ground for my Ho-Oh team, but we'll take those. It's good to know that I was able to survive a Terra water spout from Kyogre by terraing Tinglu. Like, I didn't need screens for it. I'll have to run the calcs later. No, I'm not dropping a link in the middle of the stream, but I'm going to drop a link in the middle of your stream. Alright. I'll be the judge of that. Hey, congratulations! Shiny Deoxys. Very cool. That's fun. Alright, I'll do like one more battle or two more battles. And then I gotta talk about my schedule, because this week is just packed. I got a charity event coming up at the end of the week that I'm anxious about, because I took a whole like month off of streaming practically. I like forget how to do it. I forget how to talk. Yeah, Plastic Model Weekender. That's on Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern for me. I'm going to be using really bad gardening tools to build Gunpla. I didn't forget how to Gunpla. I forgot how to talk while I'm doing stuff. I'm good at doing things, but I'm not good at communicating. So you'll find me just kind of sitting here with dead air, which is not ideal. But that's on Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern. I'm going to be... I've got a big wheel of bad tools that I'll spin every time I get a certain donation threshold. All donations go towards the Cure Alzheimer's Foundation. I'm not getting a penny of it, so please open up your coffers. And then, so yeah, like every $5, I'll roll the dice, spin the wheel, and I'll tell you like, oh, you have to use garden pruners now. You have to use safety scissors. I have to use the Dremel, something like that, right? And I'm going to be trying to build a high-grade Gunpla. It'll be fun. Talk through your Gunpla. Is it just because I'm so low rank? Is that why it's having a hard time finding people for me? I feel like this is a really long, drawn-out process. Okay. Jose, what do you got? Who's your guy? Oh, okay, this is the Miraidon team. So that's fine. I got a Figureize Common Rider W that I'm going to build. It's not actually a Gundam, which is whatever. The theme this year is Tokusatsu. So I wanted to get something appropriate, and that's the only Common Rider thing I've seen a lot of. So we'll see how it goes. I think it's the Cyclone Joker kit. Or it's like one of their combos. It might not be Cyclone Joker, it's something Joker. One of those guys. So this is the team we were looking at that's like first place at the first regional. As long as I can win the terrain war with my Rillaboom in the back, we should be okay. Hi, you missed me winning the first one really easily, then losing the next two, and then winning the third. Or the fourth, rather. And now this one's anyone's game. The team that we're looking at on the right is the team that won the first regional of this format. And I have like a nebulous matchup into it, depending on if I play good or bad. I'm the biggest bird. Biggest bird. I like their card, though. Alright, kind of as expected. So here we're going to do light screen. Ho-Oh is immediately going to come back and become... I want to say Beryllium Boom? But I might just make that Tinglu instead. Well... I think Rillaboom is better here. So we get rid of the electric terrain, which removes a lot of power out of Miraidon. They're probably going to go for Volt Switch still, though, so they'll have the ability to come back in later, which I'm not a fan of. Oh, they're just going to Terra Electric off the rip. That's a pain, but manageable, probably. gonna go for discharge, I'm guessing, if they're protecting. Hurts, but not that bad. And they didn't Volt Switch, which is nice. So Sableye is going to come out into Tinglu. We're going to make this guy do even less damage and regret being born. Yeah, that makes sense. They're just going to hard switch. Incin. That's fine. I'm hitting them with a ground move, so it's gonna still get hit pretty hard. We're gonna see what Whimsicott has. Nope. Does not work. Right, not a lot of damage. So now I take Tinglu, and I go for that. You come back to becoming Ho-Oh, so I can swap you back in again when they inevitably set up terrain. And now we play the delicate dance of the terrain wars, until somebody makes a critical positioning error 18 turns later. They've already burned Terra, I haven't, which is also important. And we've got Light Screen up. And we've got Sableye still alive. I'm assuming he's going to fake out into... Nope, no fake out, okay. That does nothing. That does something. I'm not a fan of that. I click. He's gonna go for a parting shot into Ho-Oh, switching back into what's his name? Into Miraidon, I think. But I'm gonna nab him with a never mind. He just eats that, okay. Interesting. I mean, it does some kind of damage. Alright, so we've taken first blood here. We've knocked out their first Mon. So now here comes Miraidon again, I would assume. Yeah, Miraidon's just like a tricky fella. And Whimsicott is good at being disruptive. Okay. But I know your funny tricks, little guy. So I'm going to once again go for that and take this one. And we send Rillaboom back out again. To once again win the terrain war. If they try and... My best guess is they're going to Draco Meteor, because they've realized that their electric moves are not as strong as they would like. But they've also given up their Dragon typing, which means they're weak to fire later in the game. If I'm able to get a good like, pairing. Ooh, like my Ho-Oh. And I can Terra Ho-Oh Poison, which is like the long vision of the game. Yep, Draco Meteor. Through Light Screen. Now you've reduced your attack significantly. It's fine. This one's gonna hurt, brother! Not thrilled about that one, huh? Okay. Tinglu continues to heal. I have Fake Out Pressure. So I see no reason to not go for that again and fake out the Miraidon. Yeah, Tinglu has leftovers and grassy terrain, and its HP is optimized to be a multiple of 16, which is how much each of those heal. It's 1/16th, rather. So I believe Tinglu gets back 30 HP every turn, which is just like a fun thing to think about. Ah, okay. That's fair. They are chunking me, which I'm not super thrilled about. So Farigiraf has an ability called Armor Tail, and what that does is it prevents it and its ally from being able to be hit by priority moves, just like full stop. The lore is like the super psychic power of its tail gives it like high reflexes or things like that. Okay, so here we're gonna click this, I would think. And then Rillaboom. Actually, Rillaboom can stay. I think if I just go for like this. Oh, that doesn't do a lot, actually. I might be in danger now. I might have gotten too aggressive. Yeah, like a... It's a bummer. I believe the correct thing to do here is protect and go for that again? They don't have a good switch. Okay, they're gonna set up Tailwind. But I don't think they have a good thing to do. Okay. Alright, now they're down to their last two. And I still have all four of my guys. I'm gonna take some serious recoil. But it's fine. I do lose my light screen, though. This is a tough one. Well, if I switch out Rillaboom now for like my Sableye, Sableye I think goes down for sure, but I win the terrain war for the rest of the game. I can get rid of electric terrain for the rest of the match because they're out of guys. So I think I make this sacrifice. Okay. He can't do that, he's a dark type. Oh my god, okay. Yep, we've won here and there. He used Discharge, which does not affect Tingaloo. Hurts his own Whimsicott. I'm getting a Stomping Tantrum into the Miraidon. We've won. He realized that it was getting desperate. Okay. There you go. I thought he was going to Draco Meteor into the Tingaloo slot. Cool, okay. Yeah, we just instantly win them there. Time to send out my restricted for the first time since the first turn. Well, that was all cool. What did I miss, brothers? Let's see. Attack or stomping and sacred fire. Well, that was a good one. That was a tough one. That is why I was saying, like, I have a very nebulous matchup into Miraidon, depending on how I play. Because it is all about maintaining the terrain advantage. Vinushka, I know you were late, and since you're asking a question, I'm assuming you don't know this. So Miraidon is the new bike legendary from Violet. He's an electric dragon type, and kind of like how Kyogre and Groudon have a weather setting ability, where when they enter the field, they set up a weather condition that's very beneficial for them. Miraidon has the ability to set up, as we saw, electric terrain. Now what that does is it prevents folks who are affected by it, i.e. grounded Pokemon, from being able to be put to sleep, because, you know, they're all energized up. But more importantly, it makes electric moves do 30% more damage. But wait, that's not all. Unlike Kyogre and Groudon, the ability Hadron Engine that Miraidon has gives him another fun bonus, which is if Miraidon is in electric terrain, he gets, I believe, 30% more special attack, which means that even his dragon-type moves are getting boosted by the electric terrain, which is crazy. So you have to remove the terrain from him. Like, that's why I was constantly switching Rillaboom in and out. I could not let him keep terrain up because it just gives him too many benefits. It's so much emphasis on the terrain, but it really does make him feast or famine. And it makes Rillaboom the, like, premier counter to Miraidon. As a grass type, you resist electricity naturally, and you set up a beneficial terrain for yourself, which is great. And then I had Tinglu as well, who's a ground type, as we saw, immune to those electric attacks, and the ability Vessel of Ruin further reduces special attack from everybody on the field by 25%. So it's great for me, because I have physical attackers, but Miraidon doesn't like it. Their strategy was to pair with Whimsicott, who their goal was to set up Tailwind to make their team go faster. I believe the winning set has Fake Tears, which halves the target's special defense. They have Encore and then Moonblast. But the cool thing is, all of those status moves are useful on Whimsicott because Whimsicott has Prankster. Now, this is an ability that makes status moves have a priority to them, but also, funnily enough, Dark types are immune to moves that are boosted by Prankster. So my Tinglu, who's just sitting out there, could not be Fake-tiered. It could not be Encored. It was just sitting there, like, I was playing originally afraid that I would get locked into Protect, a very common strategy for Whimsicott because it's very fast. And because it has that Prankster thing, is it waits for you to Protect, and then the following turn it will use Encore before you're able to use another move, locking you into Protect, which will likely fail, because Protect fails in succession at like an exponential rate. So you try and Protect against Miraidon and get like any kind of ground advantage, and we'll try and immediately punish you for that, right? Like you see that the Discharge or Dragon Meteor is coming, you Protect, and then next turn Whimsicott will immediately Encore you, so you can't use your attacking move, you have to use Protect again. It will fail, and Miraidon will get the big hit on you. But because Tinglu is a Dark type, it is immune to those Prankster boosted moves, so I really could just sit there and hang in there. And then like the grassy terrain, paired with Leftovers, gives him tremendous healing. Like I said, 30 HP, I believe, every turn, which is huge. And then you Protect again the next turn, and you're not afraid of being locked into it. You've just gained 60 HP back over the course of 2 turns. That's like a tremendous amount to do. So I think that's pretty cool. Anyway, it's getting kind of late. I'm going to end it there. We had a 3-2 record, which is like not bad. Yeah, it just keeps going. I don't know if you were here for my previous match, which granted was against like a much less competitive team. I literally had Tinglu get down to 4 hit points and bring itself all the way, or no, it didn't bring itself, but it was brought all the way back to full over the course of the match. Because I'll look at the team again. Let's save. I'm gonna go back to my English cart for a second. So like I'm overall a fan of this team. I think I just need to learn to play good, but I think it is very winnable into some very meta matchups. And I'll definitely be back with more of this, maybe a little refined version, sometime next week. I think I've got Monday off, so I might do more laddering. But right now it's getting kind of late. I want to like take a break. Oh, sorry. Interesting. Sorry for the static. But yeah. Where was I going with this? Yeah, so Tinglu, super strong. just makes special attackers wish they didn't. This whole format is dominated by special attackers and like 2 physical attackers. As we saw, I kind of had trouble with the Miraidon, who's the physical attacking guy. As a fighting type, my various dark types don't pair up super well into it, and he's immune to Intimidate thanks to his item. So I gotta think about that matchup. But like, I was able to dismantle a Kyogre, which is really nice. Miraidon, who's like the meta threat, I was able to dismantle. There's a guy, Zamazenta, who's based entirely around physical defense, that I have very little difficulty with. Let's look at our teams. One last time before I head off. I gotta get a screenshot of the rental code also. Battle Stadium. All this to say, I've thought about how this team is crafted for like the past month, and it's not particularly good, but it is mine, and it can eke out results into meta threats, which I think is nice. Here is the whole team. I'm gonna go ahead and take a screenshot real quick. There we go. The Big Bird team, we've got Ho-Oh, capable of regenerating its HP every time it comes back in and out. We've got Ting-Lu to further reduce the special damage coming in. We've got Sableye to set up screens and really reduce damage, as well as being able to use Leer and Foul Play to kind of soften up targets for everybody else, for as long as it's allowed to sit on the field. Rillaboom to win the terrain war into Miraidon and to be a switch into Kyogre. With its powerful grass moves and fake out pressure, it naturally synergizes well with Ho-Oh, who wants to switch in and out constantly. And Incineroar is the other guy who loves to switch in and out. They've got safety goggles to be immune to Spore and Amoonguss-based redirection. Intimidate is typically very good, though this format is dominated by other physical attackers who have the Clear Amulet, just like Ho-Oh. So it's a little less good, though you kind of need to keep the Incineroar to keep them honest. Otherwise, if people stop bringing Incineroar, they'll stop running Clear Amulet and run a boosting move, or a boosting item. And that's not tenable. That would be too strong. So we have to keep one sword in the sheath. One sword keeps another in the sheath, is the saying I keep using. But yeah, Incineroar loves to pivot in and out, Rillaboom loves to pivot in and out, Ho-Oh loves to pivot in and out, and Amoonguss loves to pivot in and out, thanks to their various abilities and moves. We can keep up very consistent fake-out pressure to force our opponent to kind of weird spots. And, yeah, the battle I had against Kyogre, my Ting-Lu came down to the red, and between Grassy Terrain and Leftovers Recovery, and Pollen Puff, which is a 50% heal for your ally, from Amoonguss, we were able to bring ourselves all the way back to full, and keep out chunking out the damage. It was great. Last trick worth mentioning before I sign off, as we saw in game 3, or 4, I guess, Ting-Lu is also packing Whirlwind instead of a 4th offensive move, or 3rd offensive move. This is like Roar, where it forces the target out, and like if they're trying to set up, stat boosts for either defense or offense, or trying to set up Trick Room, you can Whirlwind them and force them to be dismissed and send in a random ally. Catches people off guard, kind of throws off their whole momentum. It's a nice secret for ladder like this. It comes in handy every now and then. It saved me against a Garganical that was trying to set up. So that's fun. It also goes through Protect and hits Ghost types despite being a normal type move, so that's fun. And yeah, that's the team. I had a lot of fun building it. I had a lot of fun getting the shiny Ho-Oh with PK Tom and Seri. And with that said, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Let's see, who can I raid? There's got to be somebody fun. Who's online right now? Probably going to send you guys to Big Ham. Yeah, Big Ham's making emotes. It only had to have took you like what? What are you gonna say? Yeah. I mean, like, it took me. I didn't need to Dynamax at all. I didn't need to do any Dynamax adventures to get this thing. So we're good. It's fine. Let's see. Raid Big Ham VT. Gonna send you guys to Big Ham VT, a large gaming hamster on Twitch.tv. She's currently drawing some animated emotes, doing some sprite work. She's going to Offkai later this month, so tell her how cool she is. Tell her what a big, powerful Pokemon trainer I am and how cool my Big Bird is. And, yeah. I'll catch you guys... Oh, wait. There's one more thing I have to show you. It's my schedule. I knew I was forgetting something. Where is it? Schedule. Check this out. So, Thursday, I've got my local tournament again, as usual. That's going to be at the same time, 7 p.m. Best of 3 rounds. There's no top cut for this one. Same format that we're playing today with players much better than me. So if you're interested in this format and want to learn more, see what other people are doing, what their teams are all about, tune in to this channel at 7 p.m. on Thursday, and I'll be streaming that. And then on Saturday, at 11 a.m. Or 8 a.m. PST. I'm building a Gunpla for charity. Come donate money to make me use increasingly worse tools. Every $5 donated will make me roll some dice and decide which tool from my list of ineffective tools I'll have to use until I get donated again. Should be very fun. All money going towards the Cure Alzheimer's Foundation. And it's a whole weekend event. It's like the GDQ for Gunpla. So come check that out. It'll be not on my channel, but it'll be on twitch.tv/Plamo Weekender. I'll definitely be tweeting about it and such. You'll hear about it. I'll mention it again on Thursday, most likely. But yeah, that's everything I got. Bonus era, and good night.